We're starting to figure out what the new normal is going to look like. But in the near term, we're still going to need to lean on data to get our work done. For education, it's a significant challenge getting students and teachers up to speed. We spoke with a Verizon representative about their initiatives and programs to help bridge the education divide. Well, Matt, thank you so much for joining me. If you wouldn't mind, just a brief introduction, your full title, what you do at Verizon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Really glad to be talking to you about this topic. So at Verizon, I lead the home segment marketing team. So that's where we help bring to market the service and value propositions that we think are going to be compelling to consumers. So that's our Fios offerings, as well as our fixed wireless access products for 5G home and LTE home.
And definitely some interesting challenges, I think, over the last year. From Verizon's perspective, what are some of the challenges in getting more communities around the country up to speed?
Absolutely. There's no one single challenge to bridge that digital divide. So in some cases, it's a question of access, customers having the ability to get internet at their location. Sometimes it's a question of affordability. And in some cases, it's just as simple as awareness to drive that adoption of services that will improve their ability to work and learn from home. You know, from what we have seen in the market in underserved households, sometimes those affordable internet programs that are available to them, they're typically offering service that isn't really built for this day and age or the future of working and learning. And so last year, we launched a few programs to help address economic hardship across the US. And in our Fios footprint, we launched Fios Forward, which is a program that makes true broadband with starting download and upload speeds of 200 meg more affordable. And so when you have multiple family members working from home, learning from home, you really need that high quality internet connection to make it possible.
Even before we were under these shelter in place orders, why I really wanted to start off our conversation talking about education. The kids that are doing their homework in the parking lots of fast food restaurants because of this digital divide. That last step still seems to be a significant challenge.
You know, to be clear, you hit on it perfectly. It's not a pandemic issue of getting, customers connected and homes that need that access. And these problems are just going to continue into the future. So we need the solutions that we can address them. And so Fios Forward, as I mentioned, is a key one for us in terms of getting children strong Wi-Fi and a high quality internet connection at home. And when we originally launched Fios Forward, it was a temporary program in the wake of COVID, but it's now standard available to qualifying customers as low as $19.99 a month. But separate from that, we also have a program, Verizon Innovative Learning, which is a big initiative across Verizon where we partner with schools to increase access to STEM education. We donate devices, we provide internet access, and we collaborate with them to use technology to inspire learning in their students. So that program is going to be in more than 260 schools this year, and our ambition is to continue to grow it in our quest to reach more than 10 million students by 2030.
Making these programs accessible is part of the challenge, but it would seem to me that the communities most struggling are also probably the communities that are the most difficult to reach with our traditional marketing and advertising. If you're already having issues getting more up to speed broadband, you're probably not a consumer that's easily reached through online marketing.
That's right. For our Fios footprint, we have a little bit more clarity into where we've hooked up homes in the past. And we can do everything that we can to try to raise awareness, whether that's on the ground with our marketing teams, or if it's outside the Fios footprint, build broadband access to more communities, including with our LTE home product, which I mentioned, which we are selling to rural areas across the U.S.
The challenge of trying to connect someone in the Los Angeles school district has to be different than if you're looking at a market like Georgia.
It's not a one-size-fits-all solution, but our goal is to be as consistent as possible with how we do it. So in the Northeast, we can support that best with Fios Forward, and we partner directly with school districts. And in LA, we had the opportunity to work really closely with a school district and then eventually expanding that to the broader system in California. And keep some of the most vulnerable students connected.
There's a digital divide on the teacher side of this as well, where being able to fire up a video call is great, but we've got teachers that were trained under a very different philosophy of education that are now running basically daily Twitch streams for their students and trying to find engaging content and trying to keep their students interested. What are some of the partnerships or resources that Verizon is making available for educators?
It's a huge challenge and especially with the pandemic, having to do that transition and pivot on a dime for every school teacher and school district. It's really, really incredible challenge, and incredible how quickly they were able to do it. The number one area that I'd recommend is for all teachers and educators to look at our Verizon Innovative Learning Program. We have lesson plans built with technology first and incorporated in them. And on top of that, we continue to expand the offerings that we do have to help students learn remotely. So one of the most exciting things that we've done recently is working with the Met to create virtual exhibits that can be explored with augmented reality. So for people that can't actually go to the gallery, and especially when going to the gallery wasn't possible earlier this year, even for folks nearby who had access to it, you can experience it digitally and learn more. We also have content partnerships with programmers that do have educational programs. So anyone that signs up for Fast Forward today has access to Discovery Plus, which has engaging content from Animal Planet and Discovery, and channels to make subjects real and engaging to supplement the learning that they're getting from their school districts and their teachers.
I come from a family of school teachers, and so there's definitely been a lot of anxious conversations, but there have been some exciting developments from this too. You know, just being able to catch up on some 21st century tech by necessity in trying to get them all up and running. While the outlook is starting to improve, I'm sure elements of this crisis are going to be very long lasting. You know, the notion of work at home and school at home. How is Verizon adjusting their consumer strategy to anticipate the future needs of their customers who might be using consumer services in a more business, education, or healthcare oriented kind of way?
So we're at Verizon guided by the principle to create the networks that move the world forward. And we don't think that people's usage or how they engage with those networks is going to slow down at all. So while no one expected the pandemic to create the level of demand and usage that we saw last year, our network held up very well because we built it to be a high-performing network. And we continue to do that, to invest in our networks so that we can meet the consumer where we know that they're going to be, whether they're working from home or learning from home. So that's continuing to invest in our Fios network in the Northeast. And outside the Northeast, where 5G is going to play an even more important role in the way that people connect, we have 5G home internet available now in more than 15 cities. We're continuing to build that out with fast and easy setup. Customers will be able to work from home, learn from home, access telehealth services, and all the things that the pandemic has really accelerated adoption of. But it was clearly the direction that things were going. So I think we're really excited that we've got the right investments in place, and we're continuing to invest in those networks to improve access for as many customers as we can.
Well, Matt, thank you so much for taking the time. I hope, you know, for you, your family, and also for your team that you've been well during these troubling times.
Absolutely, and I hope everyone at home is doing okay and continuing to carry on.
And I'm gonna push stop now, but we're gonna chat about upgrading my upload speeds, right? You're the guy I talked to about that. That's the thing.
We'll see what we can do.
Awesome. I want to thank Matt again for taking the time to chat, and we've included links below this video for those of you who would like more info on the programs and services we discussed in this interview. And of course, you want to stay up to date on all the happenings here at reviews.org, so don't be shy clicking through those subscribe options below. We've got the goods on smart home, smartphones, and smart streaming. For reviews.org, I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell. Thanks so much for watching, for sharing these videos, and subscribing. And I'll catch you all on the next video.